everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this one, I am going to be doing a best class setup for the GKS submachine gun here in Black Ops 4 after update 1.15. So that's the thing, guys, if you actually did not know, interestingly enough, yesterday, the time me making this video, there was a little 150 megabyte update in Black Ops 4 that was actually update 1.15. Now that's the thing, that particular update was a little bit odd, and that is just because, first of all, it was released on a Monday, which is a little bit interesting because for all Black Ops 4 updates, they release on a Tuesday, as well as it was an extremely small update. It was only 150 megabytes, and honestly no one really knows what was added into the game with update 1.15. Interestingly enough, update 1.15 was actually very similar to Black Ops 4 update 1.06, meaning that update 1.06 was a very small update and it released on a Wednesday, the day after update 1.05. However, nonetheless, what I want to go ahead and do for this video is a weapon guide as well as a best class setup for the GKS submachine gun. The GKS is one of my favorite submachine guns in the game. It's a lot of fun to use, so that's why I am going to be doing a best class setup on it. Now guys, before I get too far into this video, now I don't usually do these, however I want to set a like goal for this video, and that is, let's see if we can hit 10 likes. That would be absolutely amazing. Also guys, this video is actually going to be in two separate parts, being that the first part of the video is actually going to be a weapon guide for the GKS submachine gun. However, the second part of the video is actually going to be a live commentary of me using this particular weapon in the game. So yeah guys, now that I got the intro out of the way, let's actually dive right into the video. Alright, so of course the first thing that I am going to be talking about in this video, and that is going to be discussing the GKS submachine gun. So of course the GKS submachine gun is a very consistent, low damage, moderate fire rate, as well as extremely low recoil weapon in the game. If you guys actually did not know, you unlock this particular weapon at level 13, making it actually one of the first submachine guns that you unlock in Black Ops 4. As mentioned a little bit earlier, the damage on this weapon is moderate, as well as the rate of fire is on the slower side, however is pretty consistent. And the main thing about this particular weapon, and that is, the recoil on the GKS is almost non-existent, especially if you put on grip as well as grip 2, which I will get to a little bit later in this video. Overall, the GKS submachine gun is a very good weapon in the game. The only downside for this particular weapon, and that is, the time to kill for the GKS is actually pretty slow in core. However, if you go over to hardcore, this weapon is absolutely unstoppable and is probably the best weapon in hardcore mode. So yeah guys, now I am going to be moving over to the created class portion of this video. So guys, as you can see, the created class is going to be on your screen right now. So of course, we are going to be using the GKS submachine gun. However, I'm actually going to be using the GKS Mark II. Now that's the thing, the GKS Mark II does not have any statistical advantage over just the standard version of the GKS. So if you don't have the Mark II, you don't need to use it. However, I'm just going to be using it for this created class. And of course, we are going to be using diamond camo. Moving over to the attachments, our first attachment is going to be a red dot sight, and that is just because with this particular weapon, you want to be very precise, especially if you are going to be playing hardcore. And I'm not a huge fan of the iron sights on this weapon, so that's how come whenever I do run the GKS, I always make sure to have a red dot sight equipped. Moving over to our second as well as third attachment, we are going to be using grip as well as grip 2. Now that's the thing, the GKS, similar to the ICR, has extremely low recoil. However, the weapon does shake a little bit, as well as it does have a little bit of side-to-side recoil. So if you put on grip as well as grip 2, it's going to be completely eliminating any recoil on this particular weapon. So that's how come we are going to be using grip as well as grip 2. Moving over to our final attachment, we are going to be using quick draw, and that's just because you want to get your iron sights up as quickly as they possibly can, especially if you are going to be playing hardcore. Moving over to the gear, we are going to be using stim shot, and then for our perk setup, we are going to be using scavenger, and that's just because, of course, you do not want to run out of ammunition. And then for our second perk, we are going to be using lightweight, and then finally we are going to be using ghost. So yeah guys, that's going to be the created class portion of this video. Now I am going to be talking about some things that you want to know about this particular class setup before you go ahead and use it. So that's the thing about the GKS submachine gun. Interestingly enough, the GKS, you can use it at basically all ranges. Of course it is a submachine gun, so that means it's going to be excelling at close range. However, since it doesn't have that much recoil, as well as the damage on the weapon is actually quite good, you can very effectively take out enemies at medium ranges, and in some cases you can actually take out assault rifles with this weapon. Although the recoil is low, it's going to be a little bit tricky to take out enemies at longer ranges, and that's just because of course it is a submachine gun, so that means you have to put a lot of shots into a person before they die. However, if you are going to be playing hardcore mode, you can very effectively take out enemies at longer ranges when you are going to be using this weapon. Overall, the GKS submachine gun is a really good weapon in the game, and a lot of people don't use it. So the next time you go ahead and play Black Ops 4, I would highly recommend that you go ahead and check out the GKS submachine gun. You guys will not be disappointed. disappointed. So yeah guys, that's going to be it for the weapon guide portion of this video. Now I am going to be moving over to a live commentary of me using this particular class setup in Black Ops 4. So yeah guys, enjoy the live commentary. Hello everyone and welcome to the live commentary portion of this video. So of course guys, as you can see, this is the created class that we are going to be using. Now that's the thing, I decided to go ahead and switch it up a little bit, and as I'm actually going to be using the reactive camo for the Titan Light machine gun. So that's the thing, recently I've been using a lot of dark matter camo as well as diamond, so I want to go ahead and switch it up a little bit and actually use this particular camo in the game. Honestly, it's a really cool camo, especially once you get to the later stages, especially 20 kills, 25 kills, as well as 30 kills. And also guys, something that's pretty interesting, and that's a little bit earlier today, there's actually a brand new bundle that was added into the game, which is actually called the Replacer bundle, and interestingly enough, it added in the brand new Swordfish Mark II, which is pretty interesting. So if you want to go ahead and buy this bundle, it's going to be costing you 1100 COD points. So yeah guys, now that I got the introduction out of the way, I will see you when I join up into my first game. Alright guys, so as you can see, we are going to be joining up into our first game, and this time, we are just going to be playing a game of standard TDM here on Hurricane Contraband. Wait a second. Okay, there we go. We just got our first kill. And guys, as you can see over here, this is actually the Titan reactive camo. And that's the thing. For our first game over here, we are going to be playing on the brand new Hurricane Contraband, which honestly, I think this is a really cool map in the game. Although it's just a reskin of Contraband, I still think it is pretty cool. I do like the theme of this particular map, and I think it is pretty cool. So nonetheless, let's go ahead and see if we can get some kills with this weapon. Now that's the thing. For this particular video, I am going to be jumping around some modes. Of course, starting off, I want to go ahead and play just a game of standard TDM, and then a little bit later I might go ahead and switch out to Stockpile, which actually got updated, so that means it's not St. Patrick's Day themed anymore. And then a little bit later in this video, I am going to be switching over to hardcore mode, because that's the thing, the GKS submachine gun, as well as more specifically this class setup, is really good in hardcore mode. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, and that is, I would say that this is probably one of, if not the best weapon to use in hardcore mode, at least from my experience. So that's to come a little bit later in this video. We are going to be trying out hardcore mode, and starting off this particular game, we're actually doing pretty decent. And wait a second. Alright, there we go, took out the mesh mines. And yeah guys, if you would like to, feel free to comment down below what are your thoughts on this particular weapon in Black Ops 4. Honestly, I really do enjoy using the GKS. I think it is a really interesting as well as fun to use submachine gun in the game.
Enemy soldier.
And unfortunately, I haven't really seen that many people using this weapon recently in Black Ops 4, because that's the thing, when the game originally released, a lot of people used this weapon, especially since there was the Mastercraft variation of it. Wait a second. In Operation First Strike, once you made it up to tier 100, you got this particular variation of the GKS. So a lot of people use the GKS in that operation. However, of course, Operation First Strike was a little while ago now, so a lot of people haven't really been using this weapon recently, which is unfortunate because honestly it's a really good weapon in the game, especially if you see some head glitchers, because since this weapon has basically no recoil, you can take out head glitchers very easily. Alright, so there were two people laying down in that hallway. Oh my goodness, that's kind of funny. But nonetheless, we took both of them out. And alright guys, as you can see, this particular camo is actually changing a little bit. Alright, there we go, that's another kill. And there's another one.
Wait.
And there was a person camping in the corner with the cordite, but nonetheless, it's not too big of a deal. We're actually winning this particular game. Hopefully we can go ahead and keep it up. And there we go, that's a nice little double kill. I'll definitely take that. And let's go ahead and throw this down. And guys, as you can see, this is actually what the camo looks like once you get 20 kills. Honestly, I think it looks really cool, especially once you get 25 kills as well as 30 kills. And actually, we're on a Bloodthirsty over here. That's pretty good. Alright guys, so that's going to be our first game, and I'm going 32-12. Not the greatest KD, however, still a pretty decent game. I will definitely take it. So yeah guys, that's going to be our first game. I will see you guys in game number 2. Alright guys, so as you can see, we are going to be joining up into our second game, and this time we are going to be playing a game of hardcore kill confirmed here on Gridlock. Now that's the thing, for this particular game, I decided to go ahead and switch it up and actually play hardcore mode, which is something that I don't really do for my videos, and there we go, we just got our first kill. Although, to be honest, I do play hardcore mode quite a bit. I mentioned this in other videos, and that's I really do enjoy playing hardcore mode, especially after I got dark matter camo, because that's the thing, it is a lot easier to get camos in hardcore mode than in core, just overall because the time to kill is a lot lower, so weak weapons are a lot easier to use in hardcore mode as well, as headshots are a lot easier to get. So that's the thing, if you're going for dark matter camo or diamond camo or just gold camo, I would highly recommend going ahead and playing hardcore mode, especially if you're trying to get diamond pistols or sniper rifles or some machine guns. Because that's the thing, when it comes to getting headshots as well as completing challenges, if you're trying to get diamond assault rifles or light machine guns, that's going to be okay, because all those weapons are very powerful, so it's very easy to get headshots. However, if you're trying to get diamond pistols, that's going to be a lot more inconsistent, because pistols in this game are actually quite weak, excluding the Cap 45, which if you have the right attachments on that weapon, it can be an absolute machine. So yeah guys, that's where I'm going to be ending off this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like on it down below, as well, as we are currently closing in on 1.4 thousand subscribers on YouTube, so all subscriptions are very much appreciated. So yeah guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope to see you in the next one.